All right, hi, and welcome to the problem string trading places. Here we go. So the first problem we're going to look at is 3/4 of 8. So go ahead and pause and solve. Okay, so I'm going to go over a few ways you could have done that. You could have had maybe, let's see, you could have tried some sort of ratio where you have 1/8. I get down to 1/2 by dividing by 2. I divide by 2 again to get to 1/4. So now 1/4 of 8 is 2, and then I scale up or multiply by 3 to get to 3/4, and then to 6. Oops. Okay, some of you may have done kind of the equation this way, where you have 1/4 of 8, and you multiply that by 3, which is equal to 2 times 3, which is equal to 6. Another thing you could have done is known that 8 equals 4 plus 4, so you could have done 3/4 of 4 plus 3/4 of 4, and that equals 3 plus 3, which equals 6. So any of those would have been a fine thing to do. All right, the next problem we're going to look at is 3 times 8/4. Go ahead and pause and solve. Okay, so you may have noticed, and hopefully you did, that this is 8 divided by 4. So really, all we're looking at here is 3 times 2, and that equals 6. So which one of these, if we look at the answer, we see that our answer up here is 6. The answer up here is 6. So what's going on? Well, there's a few things I want to point out. Number one, in this problem, in the two problems we have the same numbers, don't we? We have the same digits going on, the same numbers. We have a 3, a 4, and an 8, right? 3, a 4, and 8. And here this is 3/4, and then we're multiplying 8 groups of 3/4, and then here 3 groups of 8/4. So this is all the same calculations, okay? And so this is the big idea of this problem string, is that we don't have to do what they tell us to do at the beginning. We can think about it and change things a little bit. Okay, so if we have a problem like 3/4 times 8, and we see that there's this 8/4 makes my life easier, I am allowed to rewrite it to 3 times 8/4, because that's going to be 8/4 is 2, and then I just know that this is 6. Okay, so we're going to look at some combinations where you're going to be able to trade places. So you're going to be able to swap some numbers to make your life a little simpler. The other thing I'd like to point out is this. We have a whole number of 8, and we're multiplying by a number less than 1. So our answer is less than the 8. Our answer is 6. Down here, we're starting with 3, and we're multiplying by a fraction greater than 1. So our answer is greater than that 3. This is one of those big ideas. This is skill 3, something we're not going to specifically work on too much, but all of this work that we're doing should be helping you to understand that when I multiply by a number less than 1, I'm going to get an answer that's less than what I started with. All right, are you ready? Now thinking about what we just talked about. What is 3/5 times 20? Pause and solve. All right, well, hopefully you just saw that this is 3 times 20/5, which is 3 times 4, which is 12. All right, next step is 21 times 6/7. All righty. So again, hopefully you saw that you could go 21/7 times 6, which is equal to 3 times 6, which is equal to 18. Again, depending on how you look at these problems, look up here, we have 3/5 of 20, and that's 12. So again, less than 20. But here we have 25ths of 3, so this is greater than 1, so our answer is 12, which is greater than that 3. Same thing here, 21, so 6/7, that's less than 21, which is 18. Here we have 6 times something greater than 1, so our answer is greater. All right, let's see what's next. About 5/6 times 12. Go ahead, pause and solve. And we can rewrite this as 5 times 12/6, which is equal to 5 times 2, or 10. All right, and finally, what about 3/8 times 17? All right, well, if we do 17 over 8 times 3, I know right away you're like, well, that doesn't go even, Mr. Light. But there is 16 there, right? So we can turn that to 2 and 1/8 times 3, which is 2 times 3 plus 3 times 1/8, which is equal to 6, plus 3/8, which is equal to 6 and 3/8. So it still does work. This is something to think about each time you see a problem. Is it simpler to change some numbers around and to do the calculations? So at this point, you have some decisions that you could make. Number one, if you like that target fraction game, you can play with a partner that we learned about yesterday. If you figure you might want a little bit more practice, I attached an IXL strand to here. Remember, you do assess tomorrow. So make those decisions for yourself and ask me for help if you need it. Bye.